back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've been, consistently uploading. I just been really busy with work and life in general, I guess, as always, my excuse. Yeah, I've just been really busy with work, really, and haven't really had much time to do anything. And aside from that, quick little update. I mean, I guess not really a little update. It's been kind of a couple months now, but sometime in January, right after the New Year, probably the week after, I was on my way to work, or trying to go to work, and here in Nashville, it was kind of cold compared to like most other days. I mean, I know it's not as cold as up north, but I mean, it was cold for our weather. My car wasn't starting. It was for sure below like 20, I want to say, but I don't know, my car wasn't starting. And then this was like at 5 in the morning. I probably got back up at 8. It was still really cold out, but I was able to start my car, and I moved it. Like I just didn't think about it, and I moved my car just so it'd be closer to where my actual apartment is, because I live in apartments. And I moved the car, turned it back off because I had to go back inside, and I was still gonna go to work. I mean, late, but I was still gonna go, make my hours. And when I come back out, I step on the clutch and it just drops. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And I pulled it back up with my foot, and the car started and everything, but it just dropped again. Well, no, correction. It came back up like normal, but it wasn't going into gear when I was stepping on it. So I stepped on it, put it in gear, or try to put it in gear, and nothing happened. So I was like, okay, that's weird. I turned off the car, cycled it through the gears, and nothing was going wrong, because it was off. It's not like I had to have the clutch in, or at least I did it that way. I mean, I don't know if you're not supposed to. Correct me if I'm wrong, I turned the car back on, and that's when I noticed that the pedal went straight to the floor. And I was like, fuck me. I figured it was either the slave or the master, and, obviously I was looking online, looking in the forums, like, what the, I guess the word is symptoms. I don't know, whatever. What happens, or like what's common to see when those go out. And for the master, most people said that they had a leak. For the slave, I didn't really see anyone with an ST say that they had a leak. So I figured it wasn't the master, and I just automatically assumed it was a slave, and it ended up being that. So if your slave cylinder ever goes out on your Focus, the way that it's designed, man, I'd probably just, if you have the money and the time to wait for a shop to replace that for you, I would probably just go ahead and pay that, to be completely honest with you guys. It was like a complete pain in the ass. I don't want to say I'm like, oh yeah, I have a whole bunch of mechanic experience. I really don't. I'm just like anyone, working from their garage or in the driveway, whatever. I mean, me, it's apartment parking lot. But I mean, I've done coilover installs, spring installs, on a bunch of different cars, on cars that I've had. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I'm not ignorant when it comes to mechanics. Kind of mechanically inclined. I tend to just read stuff and get the hang of it, or just watch a video once or twice and I know what I gotta do. So it wasn't anything strange to me. Sorry, I keep putting the camera down. It's kind of weird when I see cars drive by, or like, I don't want them to think like, yo, what is this guy doing? I'm mechanically inclined, so it wasn't something that I didn't think I could do. I definitely could, and what you have to do itself is easy. It's simple enough, but it's just a pain in the ass actually doing it. So I definitely recommend, if you can afford it, as far as money and time, just pay someone to do it. Save yourself the time. Or if you're gonna do it and you plan to upgrade your clutch, or install an LSD, go ahead and do it when you're gonna do that, because that's the time to do it. You're gonna have everything exposed. At the time, obviously, I couldn't really do all that. I just kind of needed my car to be up and running, so all I did was replace the slave cylinder. So that's kind of why I haven't really been posting much, or not consistently like I kind of started being, because of all that, and just work in general, and I guess my living situation as far as the apartment goes. I don't really have access to a garage, or like you know, anywhere to really have tools. You know, as far as starting on the wide body kit, I know that's something that I've mentioned briefly or talked about or posted about on Instagram. So I don't really have the space to store tools or store my car or anything, you know, to do that. But that's definitely still in the works. Hopefully next year. Apartments that I'm going to be living at now, or hopefully by then I have a house, so I don't have to worry about renting a garage or a storage space or something to work at. Definitely going to be doing big things, you know, hopefully starting this fall. Definitely still looking at obviously building the car more. My end goal is still 600 to the wheel, and I don't know though, you know, with the different turbo options that have come out, I don't know. I'm still not sure what I want to do as far as that goes. I know that ATP has the GTX 3076R. I don't know if I want to do that, or say like Garrett, they released their kit. I guess you could call it a kit, but it's the G25 660. That one's rated at 660, obviously. And then ATP's, I think, is rated a little above that, or it's good for over 600 for sure. But I don't really plan on going above that. I mean, it's a front wheel drive car, it's my daily, so I mean, anything higher than that's kind of unnecessary, or I don't know, just sketchy. Fun, but sketchy. Aside from that, I've been working on like a cover for the rear seats, like, you know, if I take them out. But I have a template cut out, but I'd like to make that, I don't know if I want to do like ABS plastic or something, but I definitely want to make it light and sturdy to where I don't really have to worry about it being flimsy if I have anything in the trunk. And lining it, I obviously want to line it because I don't really want to have too much noise passing through into the like, you know, I guess into the main cabin from the trunk. You know, just obviously if you're building a car, you know, performance oriented, you're gonna have limitations as far as like comfort, which I'm aware of. You know, it's whatever. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, why not try to make it a little more comfortable for what it is? And then just kind of working on a couple things, you know, working on, you know, either just regular maintenance stuff or things that need to be replaced. Like my rotors, they're pretty bad. I know I've needed to replace them for a while now, but I don't know, it was cold and I didn't really want to do nothing to the car when it's cold, because again, I live in apartments. I don't really have the luxury of a heated garage. But yeah, I have something coming as far as the rotors go. I am looking at piecing together an RS Brembo kit, just because it'll be cheaper that way. And I mean, why not save money? It's still gonna be brand new, you know, brake set. It's not gonna be used, but you know, if you piece it together versus just buying it from like, say, CJ Pony Cars, or I don't know, somewhere else that has the kit, like JST or whoever, it's, you know, easily over $1,000. You know, why not save yourself a couple $100? So I'll be piecing that together and making a video on that, linking where I got each part. So that's coming soon. I think I'm gonna start also focusing on my suspension components. I'm still currently on the stock suspension, and it actually started squeaking. So that's really annoying, and I want to get that taken care of. But the main part as far as my suspension is probably the ball joint on the arm itself. When I was taking out the axles, or the CV axles, whatever you want to call it, you have, well, according to what most people do, you disconnect the ball joint from the hub, and that was a pain in the ass. I couldn't even get it to come apart. So what I ended up doing is separating the hub from the stock shock, and that's how I was able to remove the CV axle. But in the process of trying to disconnect the ball joint, I kind of tore the boot on it. So water has been able to get into it and obviously like wash away the grease or the oil, whatever. And so I don't want it to end up getting to the point where it seizes up on me. So I'm just gonna replace that. But with the way Ford designed our control arms, it's riveted in, so it's not just like just buy one and bolt it in. And aside from that, not many companies make a replacement for a car apparently. I mean, you could just buy the stock one where it comes all together, the arm with the ball joint already riveted in, but it's expensive for one. And there is one company that makes the control arms, the front control arms, and I guess you could say upgraded ball joints. So I think that's the route that I'm gonna take. I don't know when I'll do it. Hopefully I'll do it in the next month or so. Only issue with that is the fact that I'm moving in July, so I kind of just want to have my ducks in order with that, and you know, have whatever we're gonna need as money wise. And because I mean, we're kind of, I don't know, it's a lot of work to move certain things, and I mean, I don't have a truck, so we're gonna just hire a moving company to move our bed and couch. Everything else, I mean, it fits in the hatch. So I mean, we're just gonna box that up, whatever we need to box up, throw away what we don't need, and yeah, just move it in the car. It'll probably take a trip, maybe two. I mean, last time it just took us one trip, so it shouldn't be that bad. I think something else I'm gonna work on is my front end. It's kind of messed up. Someone backed into it. It's not like, oh, it's the end of the world, or like something where, oh yeah, you could tell I was in a wreck. Nah, not really. But it is enough to where it bothers me. So gonna see about getting that fixed and obviously painted. But I don't know, that, and probably around the time that I start actually molding the kit, I think I want to go ahead and get like an RS bumper, because I do want to make that like facelift, I guess, or do that facelift for the car. I just really like how the RS front end looks. Obviously with ST badges though, I mean, don't want to be a fraud and have RS badges. That's kind of, I don't know, it's a little out of pocket. We'll probably also work on getting wheels. I don't know about where you guys live. I know there's states where they're worse than Nashville, or worse than Tennessee, or cities worse than Nashville, but towards where I used to work, there was like a ton of potholes, and my wheels aren't like stupid bent, you know, but they do have on the insides like where they're kind of bent from potholes, and it kind of causes the same helicopter effect, or like kind of, you know, like when you roll your windows down, either the back or the front, and you get that kind of like helicopter noise. Well, I kind of get that effect from the wheels being bent too, and it just kind of gets on my nerves, and the ride isn't like smooth like when I first got the car, or if you like the smooth like it should be, I mean, with straight wheels. So that's something else I want to look into doing. I'm not sure what wheels I'm gonna go with at the moment, but that's something else on my list that I gotta check off here, hopefully soon. But yeah, as far as the giveaway goes, that's still going on. If you know, you haven't seen my previous video, check that out. I go into detail at the end of the video how to get in. I had said 3 weeks, but honestly I think I'm just gonna let it go on for maybe like a month, or a few more weeks. So I mean, that's just me, you know, showing appreciation, or you know, for you guys supporting and watching my content, you know, sticking around. I don't really do this for anything other than just for fun. That's just the only reason I do it, and also because I try to make my videos to where, you know, if you do it the way that I do, or you do it sort of how I do the installs, I try to keep them based off of like the fact that, I mean, yeah, not everyone has access to professional grade tools, or a professional shop or a garage space or a lift or certain things. So I try to keep my videos with what I have access to, which I think is the case for a lot of people. So just kind of ways that I work around certain things, or I guess adapt to stuff. And I hope that it has been helpful. If something is for whatever reason unclear, or I don't really explain something properly, you can always message me on YouTube, or leave a comment, or hit me up on Instagram. I tend to reply pretty quick, as soon as I get the notification, I usually reply to people. It's not always the case. Like sometimes I don't get the YouTube notifications, but I try to reply as soon as I can. So I mean, if you ever have a question on something, or there's something that's unclear, feel free to hit me up on whatever you want. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy my videos. Hope you stick around for more content, and just be patient as far as like my content goes. I know I don't really upload as often as maybe some would like. If you have any ideas or have anything that you'd like to see me do on the channel, or to the car, or anything, hit me up. I'm always open to suggestions. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave a like or comment on the video, and hope you come back for more.
Hey, I got big racks on my head. I got big racks on my head now.